Hello guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Food Diaries right here in Doordarshan Meghalaya. And today is going to be a little bit special because the monsoons are right around the corner and we're going to travel a little to the hills of Darjeeling. With me I have here Mr. Rajeev Laloo, and we're gonna make something really special, and we're not gonna waste time. So can you please tell us what's on the menu for today?
So today we have 4 items, but I'm going to start with the dessert today because you have to refrigerate the dessert for at least an hour or so. So I usually prefer to make the dessert first because it kind of takes the burden away, and then you can focus on the other recipes. So for the dessert, we don't need many items. It's a very simple dessert. It's called panna cotta. It's not a Nepali dish, but this is very common in my household and everybody loves it, and it's very easy to make. So for this we need, we can use any fruit, any sour fruit. I prefer to use kiwi because of the color. It's green, I like the color green, but traditionally it's made with berries, strawberries, blueberries. You can use any kind of berry. You need something sour because the cream will be sweet. So the opposite flavors will accentuate the whole flavor.
Balanced taste.
Yeah, for the balance. And then so we need sugar for dessert. Obviously, we need fresh cream. You can use the Amul cream. It's quite convenient to get it. You can use any other kind of fresh cream. And vanilla essence. You have to be familiar with your vanilla essence because sometimes it can be very strong, sometimes too mild. So you have to be familiar with the essence you're using. And something which might not be commonly available is the gelatin powder.
Okay.
Because you need a little bit of gelatin and some warm water, and that's it. These are the ingredients. So we'll start by taking a pot on the stove. Turn the heat on, and you can just put the milk directly into the pot. Right? We've taken a cup of cream and we'll put it into the pot. Okay. So in the meantime, what you can do is I would want you to open the packet of gelatin and just put the whole entire gelatin into the. Okay. So these are gelatin powder, right? So what you have to do is you have to put a little bit of warm water to moisten to activate the gelatin powder actually.
Tell me when to stop, is that fine?
Yeah, you can fill it up. Yeah, that should be enough, yeah. So you just keep it on the side so that the gelatin powder activates, and make sure your pan is not on very high heat. Put it on low heat. You don't want to burn the cream. Alright, you just want it to heat so that you can mix your ingredients well. Can you pass me the spatula? Okay, and then while it's heating you can add some sugar. Could you pass me the spoon? So depends on how much cream you're using, because we used 1 cup of cream, so I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of sugar. Right? I mean, it's based on your preference. If you want to put more, you can obviously do that. So you just put this on low flame and allow it to mix.
So how long would you want to keep this on the flame?
Just as long as the sugar is melted, so you don't see any sugar floating on the cream. Just to mix it up. You want, like I said, you don't want to boil the cream. You just want to heat it so that the ingredients mix as well, and very low flame. So while this is happening, and while the gelatin is activated, we can start working on the sauce.
Sure.
For the.
You want me to help you with this?
Yeah. Could you like slice them up? So I want you to make small cubes. You don't have to be perfect. You just mash them up, because eventually it'll end up as sauce, right? So you don't worry about the shape of the cubes. And while you're doing that, make sure your cream is not burning, so you have to keep stirring it. When you're doing it alone, you have to keep your eye out for everything. So we can take this off the heat. You can keep this here and allow it to cool.
Okay.
And then we're going to make the sauce. So for this pot, what we're going to do is you can either add your food first and sugar. Some people prefer to add sugar first to caramelize the sugar, but I would prefer to add the fruit first.
Yeah, let's do the Rajeev.
Yeah, because I don't want to caramelize my sugar. So again, because we've already added sugar there, and we talked about the balancing, right? So you don't want to add too much sugar on it, just enough, right? Maybe 2 teaspoons, right?
Okay.
and a little bit of warm water so that you don't burn your sugar. Could you pass me a spoon? Yeah. And this is just for the, you're making a sauce, right? So you make sure your fruit is already all mashed up.
Just
Yeah.
get into
Allow
the
it to
paste.
heat, yeah, so that you don't have any hard particles. Okay. So while I'm doing this, maybe you can work on the panna cotta actually.
Okay, tell me what to do.
So just make sure the gelatin is mixed. The one way to tell if the gelatin is activated is it becomes a clump. Yeah, there you see, right? It's a giant clump. So what you can do is you can take the whole entire clump. Maybe it might be too much for it, so maybe half of that clump into the cream.
You want me to put this
Yeah,
in the cream?
yeah. Since we're using a cup, so we don't need actually the entire packet, just half of it. Yeah, into the.
I think that's enough.
Yeah, that
You
should
want me
be
to
enough.
mix it up?
Yeah, stir them. One of the reasons we heat the cream is so that we want them to mix really well. Because like try mixing something in cold milk or cream, right?
Wouldn't work.
So it wouldn't work. So while you're doing that, the final ingredient to add will be the vanilla
Vanilla.
extract. So like I said, be familiar with your vanilla extract. Sometimes it can be too strong. It overpowers the flavor of the panna cotta. You don't want that, right? So with this one, I would prefer a teaspoon.
Okay.
You can use the same spoon for the gelatin. Here.
So you want me to add 1 teaspoon, right?
Yeah, 1 teaspoon. 1.5 if you like the vanilla flavor. And this is done. It's
Look at
done.
the smell.
It's the smell of vanilla. It's kind of strong, this one. Okay. I think we're done.
So I'm gonna put the flame off. I think that's.
So now we just simply have to pour this into this ramekins, right? So we have 4 panna cottas ready, and this is it. Now you just put them in the freezer for an hour or so,
Okay.
and then when they come out of the freezer, you serve them with this sauce.
So I saw you
Yeah.
went back to the fridge.
Yeah,
and I got
so-
these back.
So our desserts are done, as you can see, right? You can just see they are done.
Okay.
So what you can do is once they are done, you can put your sauce on top and just eat it from this directly.
Why don't we try that?
So yeah, we're going to do that. So like you saw, right, our sauce is not very saucy. If you want a very liquidy sauce, you can always grind this up, put a little bit of water, but I would prefer it a little chunky like this.
Yeah. I'd
So
like
what
that.
you do is you just put it on top of your dessert, right, and then you basically serve it with a spoon. This is it.
So hey guys, welcome back, and this is going to be the second item, and I can see there's some chicken.
Yeah.
And also a cute pot. So
So
what are we gonna make?
yeah, obviously you can see chicken, so obviously it's going to be chicken. But before that, I want to ask you, how good can you hold your spices? Because if you see out here, right, there's a lot of chilies, right?
I think I can handle my spice.
Okay. So this is going to be a green chicken curry that we often eat in my household. It's easy to make, and something that is different, which I have never eaten, in other places other than my home.
Let's start.
So first, if you can help me,
Yeah,
I've
sure,
heard
why
you.
not? I'm the assistant, okay?
Yeah.
You want me to
So
chop these up?
Yeah, you chop them up. Slice them into thin slices. So you can slice them into thin slices.
That's fine.
Yeah,
How's my chopping skills?
it's amazing. Better than mine actually. So okay. So meanwhile, the pot is heating up. So we're going to put some oil in it. For this recipe, we use a little bit more oil. Generally, while cooking, we prefer not to use a lot of oil, but for this recipe, we need a lot of oil. So mustard oil. Again, it depends on your preference and your lifestyle. Yeah,
Chopping
chopping.
away.
Thank you so much.
Onions.
Yeah. So once you're done, so we'll have to heat this oil for a while. Let it really heat up before we add anything into it. So once you're done with this, why not slice up these? I can help you with this. So what I want to do is, I've done this already for a few. Just slice them up.
Slit them up.
Yeah.
Right?
Slice up, yeah. Just slice them open like this, all the way to the top. So these are already done.
And you said this recipe was handed down to you by your mom?
The oil is heating up and you're done with the onions, right? So you can just slice open these chilies. These are green chilies.
Okay.
So
you just slit them open?
Yeah. So I can help you with that. Just take these, slice them open. Some of them are already done. You just keep it there. So I think this oil is done, almost done. So once this is done, we'll start with the chicken first, and then the onion, and then But yeah, you have to be careful. You want me to do this or will you?
You're the chef, so it's all on you.
Yeah, this is done. So we can just put the chicken right in. Okay, this is tricky part. Okay, we're going to put the chicken in. So once the chicken is in, you can just put your onions already.
Okay.
Put your onions and even the chilies.
Nice and steady. I don't want to burn myself.
Yeah, you can throw in the chilies as well. Yeah. So put this on medium flame, low heat or medium heat, and just
Cover that up. So how long are you going to keep that on the flame for?
Okay, so when you open it, see it's the onions have melted a little, right? So when this happens, you can add in the other ingredients. So we'll start with the ginger and garlic paste.
Okay. So how many teaspoons?
Just add 2. Yeah. 2 teaspoons of garlic, yeah, done. And maybe 1.5 of ginger. A little bit of ginger. And into this, we are going to add the turmeric.
Okay.
Mix this up a bit. I'll turn on.
This much?
Yeah. A little bit more, entire spoon. And then some chili powder. Turmeric is actually very good for your health, so clears your stomach and stuff. And then this rules it, yeah.
It's definitely gonna.
It's a balance. Some more actually, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna have a good time tasting this.
Yeah. Okay. Now this won't end up being spicy actually, because we have because the onions are sweet. If you didn't know this, we put 3 entire onions, right?
So how long does this generally take?
So chicken doesn't take long to cook. So maybe 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of high flame, and 10 minutes of medium flame. This should be done. Just make sure you put the lid on tightly, right?
So I guess the
chicken is
done,
ready.
or?
Like I said, you can just open and check. See, as you can see, the oil is seeping out, right? So this lets you know that the chicken is done.
Okay.
So now we're going to
next?
we'll add the other 2 ingredients, the final ingredients. So you can pass me the
pepper.
Yeah, we can add the pepper first. So let me give it a good mix before I add anything. Right. Okay, we can add 1 teaspoon of pepper. And earlier, I think we forgot to add salt, right? So I did add salt a little earlier, a little bit. So I'm going to add another 1 tiny spoon.
And
yeah,
we're gonna add
the final, the thing that gives it its name, right? Put the entire thing in.
Are you sure?
Yeah, dump it all in. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the paste of green chili and coriander, right? And then you mix it all up together. And you let this cook for about 5 minutes because the chicken are almost done, right? So all these flavors will cook and mix up for maybe 5 minutes on medium flame, and the chicken is done. So
So we're just gonna let this simmer.
Yeah, on medium flame for 5 minutes, and then the chicken is done and ready to serve.
Awesome.
So see, again the oil is, you can see the oil, right, on that becomes the top layer of your gravy. So that's when you know it's done. So our chicken is done, more or less. So not more or less, actually it's done. So yeah, it's ready to eat. So we can turn off the flame, just put the lid on and keep it aside.
So that's done.
That's done.
What's the third item? And I see something really different.
Different,
that I don't really see.
Yeah, so I'll have to explain now.
Is that mushroom?
No. No, it's not. This is what we call gundruk.
Gundruk.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very common place in, you'll find it every Nepali household. It's called gundruk. Have a sniff, smell it. It's a strong smell.
It does have this
Yeah.
very mushroom texture,
Yeah.
kind of.
But
like.
these are like very rare, you know. So there's this really rare plant that only grows in the foothills of Himalayas, where every winter solstice village elders go and take. I'm just kidding. These are just fermented leaves.
Okay.
So for our recipe, what we have to do is not overnight, but you have to keep them in water, like warm water preferably, for an hour or two.
Okay.
So just that it becomes less hard and you're able to chew on it. So we'll start with the, if you can slice them into two halves.
Okay.
Let's take this hard one. Slice them into two. We'll just take maybe 3 tomatoes for the amount of gundruk.
So these are
Maybe 4.
tomatoes grown in your garden, not in the Himalayas, right?
Yeah. But hopefully equally tasty, I guess. So what I'm going to do is just put them in my face down in my pan, right? So traditionally, I mean, even in Khasi culture, it's very common for us to just put this on open flames, right?
Yes.
And take the
Roast
skin
them,
off,
yeah.
right? So we don't have open flame here. This is not ideal for this. So what we're going to do is to just put them in a pan, put some water and heat them up, so it's easier for us to remove the skin, and the insides become mushy and conducive for the salad. Yeah, thanks. So once this is done, we'll just put a little bit of water here so that we don't burn the tomatoes. Yeah, and then we just put the lid on. And in the meantime, I need slices. So here back
Again,
on
okay.
onion duty again. Very thin slices. I mean, your preference. How would you prefer in a salad? Do you prefer thin slices of onion or thick?
Thin.
Yeah, so I would prefer thin as well. So thin slices of onion.
This looks good enough.
Yeah, you can put them on the side. This is, yeah, this is good. Okay, now we have, so this one, right? So these, as you can check, these are slightly softer and maybe chewable, right? So you take these, right, into your hand.
Okay.
Squeeze the liquid out of it. Yeah, just squeeze it here. And you can just put them on your tray there, on the board, chopping board. Just put it on the chopping board.
Okay.
And just take some more. And you don't want to use too much water because the flavors are all there, right?
Okay.
Sometimes when you're making soup, this is like contains all the flavors.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's why I don't use too much water. Now this is done. I want you to chop them, roughly chop them up.
Okay.
And then you just put them here.
So I think this is done.
Yeah, these are done, roughly done. So you just put them into the bowl, mix it with don't mix it, just put it on the bowl with the onion and the chilies. The next thing, I think our tomatoes are also done, so I'm going to turn off the heat. I think the tomatoes are done. They're soft, right?
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is let them cool. So I'll just keep the lid off, let it cool, and in the meantime, there's some pounding work you have to do. So these are Szechuan peppers, right? You're familiar with this.
Yes.
We'll just put some of them here and just go all mad on it. Yeah. You don't want the branches. A pinch. Yeah. Okay. So you can see it, right? The skins are coming off easily. So because they are still very hot to touch, right? So I'll just put them in your board. And once they are cool enough, you can just again roughly chop them up and put it into the mix. Take the skin off, right? Some I've taken off already. Yeah.
This is hot.
Chop them up and put it there. In the meantime, I will just make the dressing. I have to move out again.
So
Yeah, so
I've
the
chopped up
tomatoes,
the
yeah, they
tomatoes
look
for you.
actually really good, right? So you've really done a nice job. So you just pour them into the, mix it up, all the ingredients together, put it there all together. And while you're doing that, I'm going to make the dressing. So for the dressing, I'm going to take some oil in a pan. We don't need too much oil for this, just a little bit. And I'm going to heat it up. Right? So this is going to be the dressing for the salad. Maybe a tiny bit more. Usually prefer to do in a smaller pan,
Okay.
but you know, you can work with anything you have.
So you're basically just using mustard oil, right?
Yeah, just mustard oil for all the recipes.
Is there any like
Particular reason? Because
Yeah.
mustard oil has a taste, unlike refined oil, which is like tasteless, right? Mustard oil has a taste of mustard, right? So it gives flavor, adds flavor to your food. So this is heating up. If you want to add coriander later, maybe you can chop them up now and then
sure? I'll do
keep
that.
it. Yeah. Take some, yeah, a few leaves. Put green ones.
This is enough.
That should be enough. Again, roughly chop them up. Like I said, with our recipes, we don't have to be very particular about how each ingredient is cut, right? The taste should
You're the
matter.
boss. I'm just listening and following your
No, I'm
orders.
just asking. That was a question actually. Okay, so my oil is heating up. Don't put the coriander in now.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't want to cook it. So for the dressing, we're going to heat up the oil. So when it's heated up, you can actually turn it off because you don't want to boil, because you're going to add the turmeric into the hot oil.
Okay.
So you don't want your turmeric to burn, right? So I've turned off the gas, and now just add a little bit of turmeric. This is like very common in every Nepali cuisine. Burnt, slightly warm turmeric, and then you're going to add this into your recipe. We heard the sizzle, all the senses involved, right? And then you mix it up all
That's it,
together.
no?
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe add a little salt.
Yeah, you can add the salt. The salt should be enough, right? I mean, some people prefer low sodium. And now you can now the final ingredient, give me the bowl. Cut that open, the lemon. This is the final ingredient.
Okay.
And now you squeeze the lemon into. How much would you prefer?
It's all up to you.
I'll allow you to do this. Squeeze hard.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that should be enough.
A little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. You know how this chana wala squeeze the lemon. Once they're done with it, there's nothing left. It's dry as a bone, right? So, yeah, when life gives you lemons,
You make
Yes.
gundruk.
yeah, or squeeze it like a chana wala, and then you just put your coriander in. And actually, this is done. You can taste it and see if the seasoning is right.
I would love to, but I'm gonna keep that for later.
Okay. All right.
We're in the most favorite part of the show. And
The
you're
tasting.
giggling, but
Yeah, because I'm nervous.
you're nervous, right?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's okay. So we're gonna go straight to the tasting,
Okay.
and we're gonna start off with the chicken with some salad. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I've been ready since the morning. Okay. So yeah, so the chicken is done. So let's. How much do you want? Just a piece, right?
Maybe one more.
Okay.
And some of the gravy.
So this goes well with rice or roti. Yeah.
I'm gonna take some of them.
So
This is a plate for you.
oh, I thought I was serving for myself.
I'm sorry.
So okay, two pieces.
Mix this again.
Chili. Yeah, some salad. Some
Some for you.
Okay. Yeah, let's taste. I want to see your face when you taste. How does it smell?
I can get the gist of the coriander.
Okay.
chicken is tender. It's a little spicy for me, but I guess that's how it should taste because the mustard.
Yeah, but because
And
when
the
you have
chilies
it with
go very
rice or roti, you will not find it too spicy, I think.
But this is good. This is really, really good.
How's the gundruk? This is the first time you're having gundruk, right? How is it?
The onions make it crunchy. The gundruk has like a little bit of a mushroom texture.
Yeah,
It's a little rubbery,
yeah.
and the tomatoes balance out. It's a little bit sweet as well. So I really like the combo. This is good.
Oh, should I say something? I mean, it's really good. I mean, I like it. Okay,
So
let's
we're
try the
gonna go ahead
dessert.
for the dessert.
Yeah.
One for you. And one for me.
So I want you to take a huge chunk of the cream.
Okay.
So because of the gelatin, you can see, right? It wiggles.
Okay.
Take a bit of sauce, right? And just put it in your mouth. Yeah.
You're right. It's sweet and sour at the same time.
Sometimes I just prefer the white part of the. Just have the. Then you can have it separately, just to understand the taste.
It's really good. I thought it's gonna overpower the sourness,
Oh.
but it's not. It
Yeah.
really blends in well. It's smooth, and this is really good, Rajeev.
Yeah.
You really did well.
Thank you.
So it was nice having you on the show.
Thank you so much
It's
for
really
having
nice.
me.
The
Thank
food's amazing, and yeah, it wasn't the Himalayas we expected, but
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm signing off for today, and this is Rajeev with me for Food Diaries, Doordarshan, Meghalaya.